Hey, hey, hey. Happy, happy day. So, how are you? Let's have a little mix up with this, give people a few minutes to come in. Some interesting chats on social media today, and some interesting chaps. Yes, some jokes flying around. Well, I hope they were jokes anyway, but you never know with a text, do you, or with a message. So anyway, it's fun. Hashtag Health Wealth Life Day 59. Sarah, how are you? Happy to see you as always. What's the number one thing that you've learnt from Health Wealth Life so far? Chuck it in the comment box. Is it a lifestyle tip? Is it an exercise tip? Is it from nutrition? Is it about supplement? What is it? I'm interested to know. And what do you want to know more of? What's the number one thing you want to learn next? What's in your mind? What's the question you're thinking? What about where's your brain? Where's your brain going? And today we're talking a little bit about questions, because questions are really powerful, right? How they lead the mind. Hey, hey, hey. Happy, happy day. So the question on social media today was, what's the number one thing stopping you from being in the best shape of your life? What's the number one thing stopping you from being in the best shape of your life? And there were lots of different answers, really interesting. And it was interesting to see a broad spectrum of how people were looking at themselves and their lifestyle and the elements of their life and what was going on. So, you know, we all have 24 hours in a day, right? Is that right? I think that's 24. Is that 24? No. I got it wrong. That's 24. Right. So we all have 24 hours in a day. So what does it come down to then? It comes down to priority. Now, one of the big things that come out, which is really interesting, Richard said motivation. Motivation was the number one thing that stood in his way. So the only reason when we don't have motivation is we don't have a big enough why. That's it. As soon as your why is big enough, you'll find all the motivation you'll ever need. And we all have 24 hours. Oprah Winfrey has 24 hours. Elon Musk has 24 hours. Steve Jobs had 24 hours. We've all got 24 hours. And you could argue how intelligent we are is going to play a big part in that. But lots of people can be successful, and they don't have to be the most intelligent person in the world. We just have to work hard and smart. And what we can achieve in a 24-hour period is up to us. So what were some of the other things? If you think of anything else, Sarah, what's the number one thing that's stopping you from being in the best shape of your life? Just out of curiosity, pop it in the comment box. So if you're watching this recording or live or recorded, then pop it in the box. What's the number one thing that's stopping you from being in the best shape of your life right now? So one of the things that was said was overwhelmed, being overwhelmed by things to do. And they said they start off with a good plan and think, right, I'm going to get this done, and then there's an overwhelm. There's lots of other things just stack on top, and there's too much to do. They get overwhelmed. So the only thing to combat that is to plan, and then be strict with your plan. So you have a strategy and you follow the strategy, and other things come, and you need to either prioritize them above or you stick with your plan. And that's the only way to do it. We can't allow an avalanche of things to overcome if we have some important things that need to get complete. All right, so another one was motivation, which we just covered. And if you have a big enough why, there will always be enough motivation and drive. Chocolate was another one, was a good one. So to combat the chocolate urge, I think that we take the lifestyle, the lifestyle, exercise, nutrition, and supplementation. Because when you get all of the activities and the principles within those areas of your life, the craving will be less. I know this for a fact. I love a bit of chocolate, but if I manage my day, my eating and my training well, for instance, if I don't eat enough, I train hard, then I will more likely break and go for something sugary because I'm starving and I'll feel under par. My brain will be a bit foggy. But that's just bad planning on my part, or I got too busy. But either way, the best way to overcome that is, one, to manage the diet. So managing the diet is planning in advance. And if we look at bodybuilding techniques, the detail that they go into in their planning around the eating. So for instance, you'd look at your basal metabolic rate, and that's calculated with your height, your weight and your age, and that calculates how many calories you'd need approximately in a day. Now everyone's different, but you can get a baseline figure with that. Then you could figure out how much your activities, how much more calories you need from the activities you're doing in that day. If you're working hard, then you're going to need more. If you're not, if you're a bit more sedentary, then you won't need as many. And you figure out you're going to be awake about, what, 18 hours of the day maybe, and you divide that by, you're going to eat every, what, 4 hours. So you divide that by 4, and then you figure out how much you need at each meal. That's what a bodybuilder does roughly, and they'll do a bit more detail than that. But that's what you need to overcome, you know, cravings. One of the techniques you need to do to overcome cravings. And the other one is to deserve your carbs. So make sure you train hard, and then you deserve your carbs, and the carbs will go into the right place actually toward building some muscle tone or some muscle mass, and will actually help to drive fat loss once you get past a certain point. If we're overweight, then that's not a good thing. We shouldn't start eating carbs until women, you want to get as close to 16% body fat or lower, and for men it's 10% or lower. Following statistics from Mr. Charles Poliquin, one of my mentors. So emotional overload was another one. Now that's a tricky one because it's insidious and it just creeps up on us, and harder to deal with because emotions are so powerful. But one thing I suggested, which was very simple, was to breathe. So are you breathing as deeply as you can? That's a question that you can ask yourself. We'll get to questions in a moment actually, because they're very powerful. They're going to lead the way for us. So to breathe. So if we can maintain our state, our personal state, in control of our personal state, then we less likely lose control of the physical state that we find ourselves in. So if we can keep hold of our personal state, and one way to do that is to control the breath. We can do this through meditation and or yoga. They're two good practices to use. And also weight training, because you learn, and physical exercise, you learn how to deepen your breath and use your breath effectively to keep yourself going through that challenge and keep yourself on an even keel and recover from that challenge. Anyway, if I'm saying anything that resonates with you or someone you might know, give me a share, give me a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it, and you let me know I'm on track. So dealing with the situation, work and physical condition, planning around all of that, having a strategy and being strategic around your day in advance. So we can't do it on the spur of the moment. It's much harder to deal with something when you're stuck in the web. You've got to do it in advance, the day before or the week before or the month before or even the year before. Plan out your year. Some people don't go that far, but you can. That's an idea, right? So someone else said 14-hour days. I know these ones well. I do most of these. I get up at 4 a.m. a couple of mornings a week now because I love what I do. I love what I do. I want to get up and get on with it. 14-hour days. So that's again strategy, business strategy. How long do you want to do that for? If you're loving it, carry on doing it. You know, plan it in. Have that happen. If it's actually detrimental to your health, you need to actually take a step back and think, okay, I need to balance it out a little bit better. How can I do that? And one way would be to balance it out through the week. So you drive 14-hour days, maybe 3-4 times a week, and then you have 3-4 days interlaced, maybe in between those, where you're ease off a little bit, take a little bit, step back, take your foot off the accelerator a touch, because we all only have 24 hours. All right, so food was a big one. That was said by a few people. So simple one, healthy alternatives, and I'll give you a few of those. We'll stack them up through the year. Please take notes on some of those and try them out and just make them your lifestyle, because there's a few things that I use, like the fluff. I'll talk you through that another time. The chocolate peanut butter cups, which I've talked you through already and shared the... Hi Hannity, how are you? Good to see you. The peanut butter cups, which I shared. I hope you tried them out. If you did, give me a thumbs up and let me know how you got on. Did you like them? And like making an omelette, you know, you're going to make a right mess at the beginning, the first time you do it, and then it slowly turns out to look like something really good and actually nutritious and good for you. But it's the same with the peanut butter cups or protein pancakes. Another one I eat them not most days, but most weeks, certainly most weeks. So thank you for the share, Hannah. Appreciate that. Healthy alternatives for food, lifestyle, mindset, activity levels. So again, with food, make sure we deserve our food. So we need to have exercised, even if that's just 5 minutes of intensity burst. I talked about that yesterday in the video. Gave you a massive tip for fat loss, when to get that the most catabolic state, so you actually access the fatty acids, stored fat. When is the best time to do that? I gave that in the video yesterday. Go back and check it out. Self-sabotage is an interesting one. So the question for me was, you know, is that an upper limit issue? I've talked about this before, the book by Gay Hendricks called Upper Limit. And he says there's a thermostat that we're used to, a certain thermostat of happiness, certain thermostat of unhappiness, certain thermostat of joy. And when we start to get to the top of that, we think, okay, I'm used to that. And then we go just above it, we go happier than we've ever been. And it feels uncomfortable because it's new, it's different. It might not be bad, it's just different. And we go, and we sabotage it a little bit and bring ourselves back down. That's his reasoning on it, his thoughts. And that's called upper limiting. So we reach our upper limit, and that's when we start to self-sabotage. You know, can you relate to that? Can you understand what he's saying there? I found that really fascinating, and I thought he's probably right in the most part. So in terms of self-sabotage, what's your main thought on that? Pop it in the comment box below. I'm really interested. And do you think it's an upper limit issue? Look up the upper limit, and I've talked about it a few times in the Health, Wealth, Life videos. So where are we? Level of happiness, mindset, and I think this is again planning. We need to just plan ahead. Meditation is a big one for this. I get up in the morning, I start meditating before my brain can start complaining about anything, if it is going to go that way. I don't know. I don't take the risk. I just say, right, this is the way we're going, this is the way we're thinking, this is the level of vibe I want to have for the day, and let's go and do it. Let's go and have the day then. So mindset, I think it has to be, it is one of the only things that we are in 100% full control of, you know, and that takes practice. It is a skill that you can learn. Totally. Time is interesting. We all only have 24 hours in a day. Oprah Winfrey has 24 hours, Steve Jobs 24 hours, Elon Musk, all these highly successful people only have 24 hours. What are we going to do with our day? And the way to do that is to plan ahead. So plan, make a list, and work through that list. Things can come up, we don't get as far through the list as we want to, but some days we can. And if we keep doing that technique, what I found is I can bomb through my list a lot quicker some days now than I could before, because I just get straight into it. You get familiar with the pattern. Hi Rose, how are you? Happy you're here. So make a plan and make a list. Write a list down of the things you need to do. Don't try and remember it all. If you've got shopping to get, just put it in your phone, put it in the notes list. Forget about it. Get it out your head so you can think about other things. Make space for other things to come in. So plan, make a list. You know, all the successful people have choices to make, and they choose to burn through their list. And that's the way they're successful. Laziness was another one. One of the biggest blockages in the way of someone or you being in the best shape of your life. And I think for me, laziness is, I'm lazy when I'm either burnt out, and that means I haven't been managing my lifestyle well enough, or everything's just got too much. So my body's saying take a step back, or I'm unhealthy. I'm going through a bit of an unhealthy phase, and I'm choosing foods that aren't so good for me, that leave me sluggish, that leave me feeling a bit more tired. And that can happen. And again, mostly that's related to stress, or again, I've burnt myself out and then I'm, you know, overstressed in that sense. So I've worked really hard, and I tend to do that as well. So I can easily get tunnel vision and get right into it, and then just be so tunnel vision on it. I'm so focused, and I'm do more and more and more and more until like something breaks, and I have to then, okay, I've got to take a step back. I've got to ease off a little bit, and I'm forced to do that. Maybe you're the same with that. If you can relate to that, give me a thumbs up. And if I've said anything that it's helped you, or you can relate to, or you think could help someone you know, give me a share. Sharing is caring. Someone said, just to finish this little section off, is facelift. So the number one thing stopping them from being in the best shape of their life is a facelift. Interesting. And someone else said gravity. That was another little joke. They'd be taller. I thought those were pretty good, pretty funny. Someone else said something serious, and I hope they was joking. Anyway, it was maybe not a funny joke either, but anyway, we'll see. People are people, right? So now we're going to wrap it up. Peds, hello mate, how are you? We need to catch up soon. We keep saying it, we need to do it. Let's organise that. I don't know if you're around tomorrow. I'll text you after this. Right, so what's the question? So questions will lead the way. Powerful. Questions are the thing that will lead us most through our life. Okay? Questions. I'm still learning how to write backwards, so bear with me. Questions. Let's move that over there, like that. So you could say 24 questions. We could write 24 questions out of this. So here's some questions, and I'd like you to write these down. Write them down. Have you got a pen? Have you got a piece of paper? If you haven't, just skim back to this part at the end of it. Listen to them once now. Skim back to this part after, and just write them down. And I'd like you to answer them. And when you've answered them, just reply to my Facebook message or on the YouTube, wherever you're listening to this, in the comment box. So number one is, where in my day can I plan better? So where in your day could you have a better plan? All right, I'm just going to give them out to you, and then you can take your time to answer them. What is my motivation? So whatever it is you're doing, so we're talking about getting in the best shape of your life right now. What is your motivation? Take a moment to answer that. It's really important, because once you get that spot on, you'll have motivation. You'll have your why. What's your reason? Why do you want to get in the best shape of your life? For example, once you have that clear and clarity, it will just drive you forward. It will pull you forward. You'll have more than enough motivation than you need. So where can I get 5 minutes of intense exercise in my day, or just exercise? Where can I fit 5 minutes of exercise in my day? So the video yesterday, I said get up earlier. Just get up earlier and do it on an empty stomach, because there'll be no fatty acid in your bloodstream and you'll pull on your fat stores more quickly. So do it by getting up earlier. I meditate every day. Hi Alicia, how are you? Hope you had a good day. So where in your day can you get more exercise? What can I eat? Okay, yeah, that's the question. Lost my thought there. What can I eat at each meal tomorrow? Write that question down. What can I eat? What can I eat even? Try meat at each meal. What can I eat at each meal tomorrow? So thinking ahead about keeping your diet strict and where you're going to be. This is an important one. A lot of people don't do this, and then they get to the day. I've done it. You know, we've all done it, right? But the more we can plan ahead, the more days we'll have where we're eating the way we really want to, and we'll feel healthier for it. We'll feel leaner for it. We'll have more energy and vitality for it. What can I eat each meal tomorrow? Think about that. That's a good question, right? Can I breathe deeper right now? Just the question makes you stop, right, and think, I'm going to take a deep breath. And that in itself is just back in the room. So we don't breathe deeply enough. So can I breathe deeper right now? What is a healthier alternative to food X? What is a healthier alternative to food X? So, you know, whatever you're thinking you're going to have for dinner or to breakfast tomorrow, what's a healthy alternative? Think about that. And every meal, just what's a healthy alternative? Maybe you've got the healthiest, I don't know. But ask yourself that question. Is this my upper limit? Is this my upper limit? Or another question for that one is, how much joy can I experience? How much joy can I experience? It's a good question to ask. Can this day get better? All right. When is the best time to meditate for 10 minutes? Ask yourself the question, your brain will find you the answer. Now, whatever questions you're asking, your brain will find you that answer. So if you're asking, why can't I ever succeed? Your brain will go, well, you can't succeed because you're not intelligent enough, you're not good looking enough, you're a little bit fat. You know, whatever the negative things, right? It's going to find the answers for you. Whatever you ask your brain, it will find the answer for. So the trick is asking quality questions. That's why I'm giving you a list of these questions. So go back and write these down and work through them. So when is the best time to meditate for 10 minutes in my day? When is the best time to meditate for 10 minutes in my day? And last question is, where could I be healthier in my life? Where could I be healthier in my life? Interesting. So questions, your brain will always find the answer to whatever questions you ask. So ask yourself quality questions, positive leading questions, and you'll get positive quality answers. And that is also a skill that we can learn. So something we need to practice. I'll go over and over that because I truly believe in the power of questions. So there's those questions. Where in my day can I plan better? What is my motivation? Where can I get 5 minutes of exercise in my day? What can I eat every meal tomorrow? Can I breathe deeper right now? What is the healthier alternative to food X? Is this my upper limit? Can I feel more joy? When is the best time to meditate for 10 minutes in my day? Where could I be healthier in my life? All right. So type all those questions out or write them out and take some time just to answer them for you. Take 5 minutes and just answer them for you. And that's it. We all only have 24 hours in our day. What are we going to do for the next 24 hours? What are you going to do for the next 24 hours? How much of an impact are you going to have on your own life and then on the lives of other people around you? So the better you are, the better everyone else can be, because you can lift them up, or you can at least support them. So ask quality questions for the next 24 hours and we can get into an even better state than we are right now, physically, mentally, and emotionally. All right, I'll leave you with that today. If that resonated or helped you out in any way, then please give me a thumbs up, give me a share. I know it's a Friday night. I think people are out on it tonight. We'll see how we go. Give us a share, give me a thumbs up. Thanks, Alicia. Good to see you again. And I'll see you tomorrow, 6 p.m. tomorrow. Take great care of yourself and everyone around you. And remember, happy is a skill that you can learn. And this is a better way to bring out your personal best. Let's go get some health, wealth. Let's take the world with us. And I'll see you tomorrow at 6 p.m. Lots of love.